Hey, welcome back YouTube family. We are back once again with a special edition of a stock recap. We're going to be looking in on one stock in particular. It was requested by one of my friends. They want to know when the entry should be. So we're going to look at a chart and see what we can tell from the levels, from all the EMAs, from the SMAs, from the dailies, from the 1 minutes, and try to give some insight. So let's go ahead and dive into those charts. Let's go. Alright guys, the name of this stock is FOLD, fold. We're going to go ahead and fold into the money and fold out of the L's. So right now we're going to look at the daily and try to look at some levels, look at where the gaps up and the gaps down are. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to bring my picture down a little bit. That way I can grab a hold of this guy right here, and then we are going to look around and let's see. This is the year in review. It looks like this bad boy ran all the way up to around $25, which is where there are a lot of people that are holding bags right now. Again, I don't know a lot about this stock, so we're just going to jump in and look at numbers. This is purely numbers. This has nothing to do with catalysts. This has nothing to do with any kind of incoming news that may happen in a day or two. What we do know from seeing this is that here around September, October of last year, we had a level of around $16 and then it ran straight up another $10. So what does that tell you? It tells you that it doesn't take a lot to move this stock, but unfortunately, it doesn't take a lot to move it back the other way. And the reason we can tell that is this gap right here. Now, I'm sure I could go back in time and I can look at what happened. Maybe there was some news, maybe there was some terrible feedback, but a gap from this level, from 18.5, and you can see here, this is a double bottom on the daily, and then it gapped all the way down the next day to 14.5. That is a $4 move on a $20 stock. That's insane. We're talking about 25% before you wake up the next morning. That's not a good sign. Now what happens? As we scroll out here, we start looking at the numbers. Of course, we see people fear selling. They start selling, they drop these levels down. Here we find value, and then they sell again. And here we're in March. Okay, we're into 2021. We're going to go ahead and we're going to keep moving down, but then we start seeing some pickup, more drop downs. Some pickup, some more drop downs, and now we're finding value. Here around between April and May, we have found value, which is around $9.50. And once you find value on a stock, what you're going to see is you're going to see a channel. A channel is going to be a very small amount of movement. And if you can look on this daily, again, I know I have a lot of lines which are reflecting different values, but I'm going to try to pull the pointer out, and we can see here, if I click on this amount right here, we're at $9. Look how many touches touch $9 across this many months. This is a 5-month timeline. Look how many points touch $9. A lot. So now let's scroll up a little bit, and we're going to find this line here, which is around 1075. We have a top here. We have a top here. And look what happened on this day. Look where let's move it down. Right around there. So this was around 1088, 1090, around $11. So 9 to 11 is going to be our channel. Now let's go ahead and scroll in and let's get a little bit closer to see what our smaller time frames are going to look like and what we can expect to run up to. Alright guys, we jumped over to the 30-minute chart, and this stock is looking nice. Once we moved into the double digits, it has continued to stair-step its way up. And honestly, this probably wouldn't have been the best day trading stock, but as far as a swing trade, If you were able to hold on and just let it ride up the stairs, this would have been a nice stock to trade. So we're going to go back to 820 and we're going to look at these levels here. And this was a big sell off at 824 and around 820, but we continue to stair step up from there. And now we are into the double digits, and again, this is where we are today. I feel very strongly that this stock may take another dip down and then continue to climb higher unless there's another catalyst that comes in. So let's jump over to the 1 minute and compare that. Okay guys, we've went from daily to 30 minutes and now we're at 1 minute. So let's take a look and see what this stock did today and what the volume was and what it's looking like on the numbers. So I'm looking at the volume, and again, the volume was very, very low. This stock is impossible to day trade. And by saying impossible, I mean the best you would have done was a 20-cent gain over an entire 10-hour day. Now, having said that, if you would have taken a swing trade, this would have been a very good trade. And this is where my friend Luke has a good entry, and I'm trying to give him some information. That way he knows where to set his stop losses as opposed to where it can go and opposed to where it may drop down to. So on the daily level, when it opened this morning, we sold off from this level all the way down, and we fell past S2, which was our support. And even though the volume was very low, we can see that it bounced off of support 2 and went back up almost to the previous day close, and we gave back, which shows that this stock didn't want to move past what yesterday's price was. It came back after lunch, tapped the previous day close almost to the T twice, and then 3 times, and then we scroll in, and once it broke that, it continued to move higher, and then it closed at 1185. This was a nice move for today. Again, this was a nice swing trade. It would have been nice to put in an entry this morning and just let it ride the entire day, but it wouldn't be something that you would just want to sit on and look at all day long. In my opinion, looking at the charts, I would say that I would set a stop limit around where the dailies were showing it dip back down. I don't think I would ride it back down into the curve, but depending on your entry, if you got in around the $9 to $10 range, it may be worth letting it dip back down close to 11 and then come back up to try to find that gap fill. I appreciate you guys coming and checking out the video. Have a good day.